Hi everybody, welcome back to DayZ, and I thought it would be a little bit remiss if I didn't do a little boat tutorial now they've been added to DayZ Experimental 1.26. However, I would expect there to be quite a few changes to the boat as we go forward. As of now, they're very good, honestly. They are probably the best vanilla vehicle in DayZ, but they're a little bit plain in terms of what you can do in them and what they do in and of themselves. So, the boats, where will you find them? So you'll find them around the coasts of Chernerus. You know where those little upturned rowing boats are? You tend to find them kind of in those sort of locations. I've had a quick look round like the big pond near Tizzy and the reservoir down by Metallurg, and I couldn't find any there. But who's to say, by the time we go public, the devs may well have added them to there. And again, you find them along the river in Livonia, and they may well add them to sort of these lakes here, and there's a lake down here, isn't there? There's a lake there by the dam, and I think there's one over here as well. I know personally what I'll be doing is when it goes public, if they don't add them to those locations, I'll add a custom spawn file so that we can get them in those locations. Now, the boats really are a fantastic method of transport for getting around the coast and up the river in Livonia, and of course up the little streams in Chernerus as well, and getting across to like Skaliski Island. And they're going to be absolutely brilliant for custom structures as well. So I'm going to revisit some of the custom structures that I've covered in the past, the offshore ones like the oil rigs, because now we've got a practical way of getting them. Now, unfortunately, at the moment, the boats don't have any cargo. In the dev streams, the devs, Lamarx and Lad were saying that the reason for this is so that people don't hoard them. They're being a bit optimistic there. I know what people are going to do. They're going to drive them around, and then they're going to push them across land to their bases and then lock them up, because you can push the boats. In fact, if we come over here to this one, past this rather odd floating jerry can, if you go up to a boat and you push it, it will move just like the vehicles move. So if a boat is on land, you can push it into the water so that it will work. If you find you have situations where boats don't move, I think sometimes they get out of sync with the server and they're just stuck. And they're the ones that if you fire them up, generally they'll start floating and you'll have all sorts of problems with them. To get a boat working, all you need is a spark plug, and then you need to put petrol in the back. In fact, if I pick up a petrol can and we go over here, you can see if you sort of look at the outboard motor, you get the refuel icon there. At the moment, boats don't sink if you ruin them, so you can shoot them with a machine gun. It just kind of sits there and the motor will stop working. I understand, again, at some point they will be sinkable. How that will happen, I'm not quite sure. The floaters around the edge of the boat do ruin very easily with gunfire. I guess the easiest way to do it would just be, as soon as these get ruined, it just sinks slowly into the water, and then you float off maybe. But they've been working on these boats for a long time, and you can tell that with sort of how cool they are and how it works. And there's no clipping of water inside the boat and anything like that, so it's very good. There's 4 potential seats: the driver at the back, or the coxswain at the back, and then you can sit on the left or the right, or you can kind of sit in a relaxed pose at the front. If the boat is stationary or moving very, very slowly, you can stand up and then shoot from the boat, but at the moment you can't fish. If you fish, you might have seen in my other video about boats, you fall off the back. So let's get in, and let's start the engine. We just have forward and reverse and neutral, and I'm on yellow fuel, which means I haven't got that much fuel in there. Then it'll go red when we're running out, and if you've got loads of fuel, you don't get an icon at all. So press forward. The handling is exceptional on the boats, actually. It really is very, very good indeed. The fact that at high speed they don't move very much left and right, but when you're going slow, you really hang over on the tiller. You can really kind of spin it around, just like in a real boat. And then if you press the boost button, you can really get some speed up, go first person, all this sort of stuff. So overall, an absolutely fantastic. I tell you what, let's zoom down the coast, and there we go. See, there's a that's a naturally spawning boat there. That you can see there. Those are the ones, obviously, I spawn them in using admin tools. Spawning in the water nicely. There's one of the little rowboats we talked about as well. Again, I'm a bit reticent to talk about spawning numbers, because it could well be that the devs have spawned in, have put the event numbers up a lot for the boats just so that people have a good chance to play with them and test them on the experimental servers. But what I like about the boats as well, this could well be, I say these things, it could well be a safer way to get around Churnerous, you know, if you want to go around the map. But I've already seen videos online where people act like pirates, you know, so they hang around on boats, ready, you know, so when they see a poor, unsuspecting survivor go past in their little boat, they go hammering out in 3 of these things, like rigid raiders, and then proceed to try and get ahead of them, or just stop and then open fire. Probably going to run out of fuel on it before we get to the next boat. Because all of a sudden these islands that we've normally kind of pretty much ignored a lot of the time, because you think, oh, I've got to swim to it. There we go, there's another boat. Let's pull up by this one. Stop the engine. There we go. So absolutely fantastic, cool addition to the game. And again, I'm recording this video before 1.26 goes live, so by the time it does, there could well be some changes to the way that these boats work. So watch this space, and more importantly, watch Wobo's YouTube channel, because he'll have an update definitely when that happens. But that's enough from me. What do you think? Put your questions and comments down below, and of course I'll see you again soon.